Picture your bedroom right now. I mean, really picture it.
Yeah, put yourself right there.
It is deep into the night. A severe storm it's just settled directly over your house.
Right.
The rain is not just falling. It is lashing against the glass of your second-floor window in this relentless, chaotic assault.
It's deafening.
Exactly. But you are completely sealed inside. You get out of bed, the floorboards are solid, and, well, they're familiar beneath your feet.
You feel grounded. Safe.
Right. Your intention is aggressively mundane. You're just crossing the dark room to pull the curtains closed.
You want to shut out the storm.
Yeah, block out the night and finalize your isolation. You feel entirely secure.
But see, that instinct to reach for the curtain, it's a catastrophic failure of logic.
Wait, how so?
We need to dissect this false sanctuary you've just constructed in your mind for this deep dive. Human beings possess this desperate, hardwired psychological need to compartmentalize the unknown.
Right, we want to hide it away.
Exactly. I mean, you genuinely believe that a thin, woven layer of fabric drawn across a pane of glass somehow alters the physical reality of what exists on the other side.
It's crazy when you think about it like that.
It is. It's an illusion rooted in infantile object permanence. You are operating on the pathetic subconscious logic that if you cannot see the threat cannot see you.
Like a child covering their eyes.
Precisely. You are relying on a microscopic layer of cotton and a brittle millimeter-thick sheet of annealed glass to separate your soft, highly vulnerable biology from the absolute chaos of the dark.
You walked willingly to the perimeter of your cage.
I did.
So hold that precise image in your mind. You're standing there in the pitch black of your bedroom.
Just inches from the glass.
Right. Your arm reaches out. You extend your fingers toward the edge of the curtain. You're completely defenseless, operating entirely on autopilot.
Mortal vulnerability.
And in the exact microsecond your skin is about to brush that fabric, the world outside detonates. A sudden, blinding flash of lightning eradicates the darkness in a savage burst of pure white light.
It's instantaneous.
Yeah. And for a fraction of a second, your reality fractures. Because pressed directly against the outside of your bedroom glass is a face.
Oh, we must break down the anatomy of this intrusion because the specific details, well, they are what make this a lethal psychological event.
Right, because this isn't just a shadow.
No, this is not a trick of the storm or a pareidolia response where, your brain is just seeking patterns and raindrops. You are staring at a completely pale, exsanguinated face.
Exsanguinated, meaning completely drained of blood.
Yes. Consider the biological implications of that complete lack of pigmentation. It suggests an entity devoid of human warmth.
No circulation.
Right, possessing a vascular system that does not circulate red blood to the extremities. And then analyze the eyes.
They're wide open.
They are wide and they are completely unblinking.
Wait, look closely at that specific detail. Because if the eyes are entirely unblinking, what does that actually mean from a biological standpoint?
It's unnatural.
Right, I mean, we blink to clear debris, and moisturize the cornea.
Exactly. So an unblinking stare implies one of two horrifying realities. Either its ocular anatomy does not require moisture, meaning it is an entirely alien biomechanical structure.
Which is terrifying on its own.
Or, more terrifyingly, the cognitive drive to maintain an unbroken visual lock on you completely overrides its own basic biological maintenance.
Oh, wow. So it's forcing itself not to blink just to watch you.
Yes. It is the hyperfixated stare of an apex predator that refuses to miss a single microsecond of your reaction.
It's studying you.
And beneath those eyes is the mouth. The mouth is stretched into a wide, unnatural smile.
A smile. I mean, a smile is an evolutionary mechanism for social connection, right?
Yeah.
It's a signal of safety.
Usually, yes.
But when you see a smile stretched across an entity that has absolutely no right to exist outside your window, the mechanism is completely inverted.
It ceases to be a greeting.
Exactly. It's a calculated mockery of human empathy. It is an expression of pure predatory anticipation.
It knows what it's doing to you.
I want you to imagine the sheer concussive shock of this visual. Think about the mechanics of a high-powered camera flash detonating in a pitch-black, windowless room.
It's blinding.
Right. The sudden burst of light doesn't just illuminate the room, it burns the image into your retinas.
You can't unsee it.
In that agonizing fraction of a second, the flash forces you to see a predator standing inches from your nose. It is a profound assault on your visual cortex. The universe is aggressively informing you that you are prey.
And the immediate physiological response to this extreme visual trauma is total systemic paralysis.
Your body just quits.
Your heart stops completely. And I am not speaking metaphorically here. This is a documented neurological crisis known as tonic immobility.
Tonic immobility.
Right, driven by a profound vagal response.
I want to push back on that a bit because it contradicts basic survival logic, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, we are taught that when humans encounter extreme danger, the sympathetic nervous system triggers the fight or flight response. Adrenaline spikes so we can run.
That's the common understanding, yes.
So why would evolution design our brains to stop our own hearts in the presence of a predator?
Because your brain has instantaneously calculated that running is a mathematical impossibility.
It knows you can't win.
Exactly. Fight or flight is designed for survivable encounters. When the human brain is confronted with an apex threat that violates every fundamental law of its expected reality, well, the parasympathetic nervous system violently overrides the sympathetic response.
It shuts you down.
Your brain floods your system with acetylcholine to drastically slow your heart rate, theoretically making you quieter, harder for the predator to detect.
Playing dead, basically.
But in an event of this magnitude, the system overshoots. The electrical impulses in your sinoatrial node misfire.
Your heart actually stops.
Your heart muscle literally freezes. Your chest locks. Your diaphragm refuses to expand.
So you're not even breathing.
You are medically and psychologically paralyzed by the impossible horror burned into your retinas. You have been reduced to a statue staring directly at your own executioner.
Now we take that physical paralysis and drag you into the terrifying destruction of your spatial logic.
This is where it gets worse.
We must reinforce the cold, hard geometry of your environment. Remember exactly where you are standing.
Picture the layout.
You are in your bedroom. On the second floor, you climbed a flight of stairs to get here.
So process the architectural reality of your impending doom. You are on the second floor of a standard residential structure.
There's no balcony outside that specific window.
None at all. There is no architectural ledge. There are no trees growing close enough to the house to support physical weight.
No scaffolding, nothing.
There is absolutely nothing but a sheer, unobstructed drop to the ground, and the mud is over 20 feet below the bottom sill of your window.
20 feet. Force your paralyzed brain to process the arithmetic of that drop.
It doesn't make sense.
I will make the math inescapable for you. Whatever is standing out there in the raging storm, looking directly in at you through that second-story window, is impossibly, terrifyingly tall.
It has to be.
Right. It is standing on the ground. Its feet are anchored in the mud 20 feet below, and its pale face is pressed dead center against your glass.
This specific realization is where the human mind irreparably shatters. We must look at our evolutionary psychology here.
Because we feel safe up high.
Exactly. We evolved to seek high ground to escape predators. We climb trees, we build watchtowers, we sleep on the second floor because elevation equates to survival.
It's basically encoded into our deepest DNA.
It is. We feel safe when we look down upon the world. And this entity has just nullified millions of years of evolutionary comfort in a fraction of a second.
The terror goes far beyond the unblinking eyes, you know. It is the catastrophic scale of the creature.
The sheer size.
Biomechanically, how does a 20-foot-tall bipedal entity even exist, let alone approach a house without causing seismic tremors you would feel on the floorboards?
Well, that is the ultimate horror. The sheer silence of its approach implies a level of predatory evolution we cannot even comprehend.
Like it's designed to hunt us.
It possesses a center of gravity and a muscular density that defies the laws of terrestrial physics. You thought you were elevated in an untouchable fortress.
But you're not.
You are not. The space you designated as your ultimate sanctuary has been instantly inverted. You have just realized you are on display in a transparent fishbowl, entirely level with the gaze of a colossal organism.
We're just prey in a cage.
The hierarchy of nature has been reestablished, and you are at the absolute bottom.
And then the lightning fades. The flash is over.
The darkness floods back into the space outside the window.
You are completely blind again. The white afterimage of that smiling, pale face is still searing your retinas, but the physical light is gone.
You can't see it anymore.
Right. The visual threat has been erased by the night, but the entity itself has not moved.
And visual deprivation forces your brain to aggressively reroute its processing power. Your auditory cortex goes into hyperarousal.
You're listening for anything.
You are standing in the pitch black, your heart is stopped, and you hear it.
Cutting right through the deafening roar of the storm.
Yes. Through the lashing rain, you hear a heavy, wet breathing. And as your eyes adjust to the darkness, you see the physical evidence of that sound.
It's right there.
The heavy, wet breath is actively fogging up the cold glass from the outside.
So what does it mean when a creature of impossible 20-foot proportions presses itself so closely against your fragile window that its breath stains the glass?
It means it's right against the pane.
It means the illusion of distance is entirely eradicated. It means an entity of unimaginable mass and weight is leaning its monstrous frame directly against the only barrier left between you and the storm.
We must analyze the thermal dynamics of that breath. To hear heavy breathing over the ambient acoustic trauma of a thunderstorm requires a lung capacity that is mathematically staggering.
It's huge.
And the breath is wet. It implies complex biological function. It implies saliva, moisture, and extreme metabolic heat.
It's generating a massive amount of energy.
Right. The intense heat of this massive creature's exhalation is hitting the freezing exterior of your window pane, battling the atmospheric pressure of the storm and forcing rapid condensation.
So you're just watching this fog.
You are watching a gray patch of fog expand and contract on the glass in the dark. It is rhythmic. It is deliberate.
It knows you're watching.
The glass acts as a thermal bridge, transferring the heat of its lungs into your freezing bedroom. It proves this is not an apparition.
It's physically there.
It is an immense biological reality asserting its physical presence inches from your face. It requires calories to sustain that metabolic heat, and you are calories.
Do not look away. We are pulling you into the final, inescapable sequence. You are standing in the dark, watching the rhythm of the fog on the glass, feeling the heat radiate into the room.
Waiting.
Then the storm delivers a second flash of lightning. The world is illuminated once more, in stark, unforgiving detail.
And the entity is no longer just observing. In the blinding white light, you see its next movement.
What does it do?
It raises an appendage. It raises a massive skeletal hand. Pay very close attention to the anatomy here.
Skeletal meaning no muscle.
The term skeletal implies a terrifying absence of excess flesh. It is a biomechanical structure built purely of hyperdense bone and hardened sinew, entirely optimized for kinetic force.
Built to strike.
And at the end of this massive appendage are jagged, hardened claws.
The voyeurism is over. The mocking smile was just the preamble to the hunt.
It's making its move.
We watch in the blinding glare of the storm as the entity takes that massive skeletal hand, draws it back, and deliberately slams it against the window.
Feel the sheer kinetic shockwave of that action. The juxtaposition here is critical to your complete psychological breakdown.
Think about the glass.
Consider the structural integrity of residential silica glass. Annealed glass is inherently brittle. It is manufactured to keep out wind and ambient moisture.
Not a massive physical attack.
It is absolutely not designed to withstand a localized, violent kinetic strike from a hyperdense appendage. The slam of those jagged claws against the pane is not a request for entry.
No, it's forcing its way in.
It is a declaration of physical breach. The intent has officially shifted from predatory observation to active, aggressive hunting.
The sound of it alone must be deafening.
The acoustic shock wave of the slam echoes in your silent, dark bedroom. The glass vibrates violently in its frame.
Let us force you to digest exactly what has occurred in these few seconds. We took you from the insulated warmth of your bed, driven by the entirely mundane desire to close a curtain.
Just a normal night.
We walked you into a blinding flash that revealed a pale, unblinking face mocking you from the impossible height of a second-story drop.
Shuddering your sense of safety.
We stripped away your evolutionary reliance on elevation. We blinded you in the dark, forced you to listen to its massive, wet lungs transferring heat through your fragile shield.
And then the strike.
And then we illuminated the exact microsecond it decided to strike. You were completely paralyzed. Your heart has stopped.
We will leave you with this final, inescapable reality to dissect on your own. Modern architecture has bred the survival instinct entirely out of the human species.
We're completely defenseless.
We construct our homes out of massive sheets of transparent silica. We build display cases for ourselves, perfectly lit from the inside, surrounded by darkness, and we falsely label them fortresses.
Display cases, that's exactly what they are.
I want you to calculate the physics of the next fraction of a second. If an entity towering over 20 feet tall possesses the raw biomechanical strength to slam jagged claws against a standard pane of residential glass,
What happens?
what happens when that brittle silica reaches its ultimate tensile limit? The barrier is gone, the storm is inside, and you are standing exactly one arm's length away.
Just waiting.
Look at your own windows tonight. Ask yourself what you are actually keeping out and what is merely waiting for the right moment to come in.